This is Teresita Glasgow, and today I want to talk about the truck convoy in the U.S. It should be taking place soon. I think they may already be in the location that they're going to be in, which is Washington, D.C. So the world is still reeling after the Canadian Truck Convoy, which recently ended with government tyranny and overreach. What began as a peaceful protest, instead of being met with conversation from the Canadian government, was met with police who actually looked like stormtroopers. It was unfortunate, and the entire world and all of Canada got to see how their government responded to their requests. So now the convoy in the U.S. is about to start up. Actually, they started up, I guess, about a week ago or so. They are leaving California and moving and coming to Washington, D.C., or that area around Washington, D.C. So the Freedom Convoy is an American-led truckers convoy, and is currently on their way to Washington, D.C. from California and other places. The reason for the convoy is to protest COVID mandates, various COVID mandates. There may be other requests that they have. I'm not aware of it, so I just said COVID mandates, put it all in one. And that's pretty much a take on what the convoy is about. I think the interesting thing, and we learned that from the Canadian convoy, was the ability to get so many people together to put their lives on hold, so that they could have an activity which they felt legally they were able to do. Peaceful protests, legal activity, but it didn't turn out. And I'm going to do a video on the Canadian convoy because it had a lot of different nuances. Of course, this one has not taken place yet, and so we don't know what they're going to be met with, although I do believe that the National Guard has already been called in. But what I want to do, as usual, is show maybe some video of what's going on. So let's see if I can do that, and if my videos play the way that I want them to, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'm going to start over here and see if I can bring up, okay.
But instead with beta cells
Hundreds of truckers are in Maryland right now. The convoys just keep on arriving. Check out this video from Sky 9 in Hagerstown. Protesters there crowded together. They've already caused some major backups tonight. Got a live traffic map we can show you here. And when we zoom in on Hagerstown, you're going to see a lot of red on Route 40. It is still backed up right now. John Henry is standing by at the Hagerstown Speedway to give us an up-close look at what's unfolding.
We're here at the Hagerstown Speedway in Washington County, where there are hundreds of truckers. They've come from the north, south, and the west, and many of them say they're participating in these convoys because they're tired of government overreach.
This was Route 40 in Hagerstown.
I wanted to show my American spirit.
We wanted to bring our son to let him see how you really can come together as a nation.
Full of truckers, some from as far away as Arizona.
DC or bust. I want to show support for my country, you know, and let Canada know we have their back.
While many COVID-19 restrictions have been eased on the East Coast, these people say they're angry about more than just mandates. Banners and signs talk of education, taxes, religious freedom, and President Joe Biden.
Why did you decide to come here?
Freedom, the overreach, and controlling human beings.
Some truckers say they won't enter D.C. Still, D.C. leaders say they're working to make sure no locals are inconvenienced by the convoys.
Some of those mitigation strategies will be seen by the public. Some of them will not.
There's a little bit of uncertainty as to what will happen next. Some truckers have told us they're going to head toward D.C. on Saturday. Meanwhile, others have said they've been instructed not to go to D.C. until Sunday. That's because they're waiting for another convoy to converge here in Hagerstown. Another thing we've heard is that the meeting point will be somewhere 2 miles north of the Beltway. Still, we won't know what happens until it happens. With the very latest from Hagerstown, John Henry, WUSA 9.
Wow. All right. Well, there you have it. So you can see there are quite a few trucks. Canada, I do believe, got the Guinness Book of Records, world records for the longest convoy. So this is going to be very interesting. Let me see if I can bring up some other things here. Let's see.
Apparently very shortly, gentlemen, so be prepared. Don't know which lane we move, what lane we need, or what mile marker we need to be looking for that.
And I think that this was when they were actually
Fire engine.
Out
Copy that.
of California. They just
That's the fire department up there. Oh man, look at that flag. Drones.
And so you see they were met by the fire department and people on the overpass waiting for them to pass by. Let's see what this is. This is where the kids all got together and everybody's waiting to be on the trucks. The interesting thing about this convoy is that there are some cars also participating. Cars, vans, trucks, a lot of different vehicles. Let's see what this is. So you see, a lot of people are in support of what the truckers are doing. And my question is, could they not have gotten the attention of the government in another way? I do believe that this convoy is a offset of the Canadian convoy, because I don't think anyone ever thought of having a convoy of trucks like this to appeal to the government for some governmental changes that the people wanted. So it's interesting. Very interesting indeed. And this another thing that I noticed on one of the videos, let's see if I can find it. I may have already gone through it and just didn't say anything about it, is that there are Canadian flags and U.S. flags. And one of the comments being made in one of the videos is that we want to support our Canadian brothers and sisters. So that was interesting. I don't know if you could actually, if you saw what was going on there, but he took a little boy and put him in the cab of the truck and allowed him to pull the horn. So that's, that was a great thing for the kid, to get involved by being able to pull the horn. So all of these trucks are headed toward DC. I did hear someone say that and we'll see as it goes. I'm not sure that they're going into DC or that they're just going to travel around the Beltway. So it'll be really interesting to see exactly what they do. Exactly what they do. Let's see something here. The People's Convoy. The interesting thing about it is, as I said before, what they were really moving toward was the COVID mandates, but now you'll hear a lot of feedback and a lot of people commenting, and what they're saying is freedom. What we want is freedom. And so that's why they're having the convoy. I hope that it meets with a friendlier government than Canada did. And I'm not going to talk about that here because I'm going to cover the Canada convoy as well. But you can see the people are up in spirits. They're excited about it. And although it's a protest, it's peaceful. Their children are joining in. Everyone is joining in to the convoy. A lot of support. I know if you saw that overpass with that huge flag, that was the fire department in that location. And people were coming from California all the way to Washington, D.C. in a truck or a car. And, that's quite a trip. All right, here's another clip on the truck convoy, what it's all about.
CBC's Seema Modi spoke with them today.
Some draped themselves in flags, some waved them, others held signs. They were there with many different grievances, but united in one idea: freedom from government control.
Have you been vaccinated?
I am not vaccinated, and I will never be vaccinated.
Inspired by the Canadians, truckers across the West Coast meeting here at Adelanto Stadium to unite against COVID vaccine mandates.
This vaccine thing is way out of question. It is your sovereign responsibility to make those decisions on your own.
For some truckers, their discontent goes beyond COVID.
Right now, the fuel prices are ridiculous. Political parties, neither party really cares about the people.
From Southern California, the caravan will begin an 11-day journey, traveling some 2,593 miles, with stops in Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio, and then straight to the nation's capital. The goal, they say, get Washington to listen.
Vaccinated, unvaccinated, these are distinctions that divide us. We are all Americans!
Organizers of the People's Convoy say they are planning a peaceful protest, despite speculation that U.S. truckers will attempt to block off traffic.
We are not going into the heart of downtown D.C. We are also not sending messages like some of the other convoys saying we're going to strangle our government. Do not confuse us with them. We come in peace.
As you can see here, truckers have left Southern California as they head to Arizona. As they make their way east, they're hoping their caravan will grow in size over the coming days. Organizers say they do not have plans to go into Washington, D.C., just stay in the general vicinity, nor do they have plans to disrupt President Biden's State of the Union address on March 1st.
Okay, so that's one of the questions that we had. And it seems like there are there's more than one convoy, and that they are coming from different places, and so I don't know if they're all getting the same kind of instructions as was given on this clip. Interesting. I say interesting a lot, don't I? I have to think of another word. And just in case you thought this was a southern thing or a middle of the country thing, let's look at this clip.
Stand for Canada! Stand for America! 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 Stand for Canada! Stand for America!
If you didn't recognize that, that's the Brooklyn Bridge.
Stand for Canada! Stand for America! Stand for Canada! Stand for America! Stand for Canada!
Speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up!
Stand for America! Stand for America! Stand for America! Stand for America!
So even New York is in on the deal. Brooklyn in the house. It is an exciting time we live in. It really depends on your perspective. Sometimes things can get very heavy, but if you have a good attitude and think good thoughts, and of course pray, then you can shift that mindset into more of a happiness type of mindset. These guys have left their jobs, their homes, given up their salaries for the time that they're on the road and doing this convoy, appealing to their government. What will their government do or say? And that's the question. That is the question. I always have technical difficulties. Well, at least nothing really froze that much this time around. And as I said last time, it'll get better. It'll get better. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's my system isn't strong enough or, there are like delays. But I'm Teresita Glasgow, and today we talked about and got to see some clips of the convoy of the United States of America, the truck convoy that is moving toward, or probably already there now, Washington, D.C. And so I hope that you liked it. And did you know that the convoy was going on? I know the news has been really inundated with the war and everything. And so I still wanted to bring this and cover this. I did cover the war, what's going on with Ukraine and Russia in my last video. And until something else goes up, or happens, I won't revisit that. But I wanted to bring you some clips and some information about what's going on with the convoy going to Washington, D.C. And I'll be really interested and excited to see what happens. Is it going to be like Canada? Or is it going to be like the United States? I hope it's like the United States, but we never know nowadays. So I'm Teresita Glasgow, and of course, this has been Politically Speaking. I'd love you to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel or wherever you see this, because I'm on Rumble as well. And tell me what you think about the truckers and what's going on. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.